Hello Ian.
Hello Dom.
Hello everybody and welcome to the final episode of Famous Food Times. So this is podcast offshoot Famous First Times where we talk about sex, but we don't dirty in this one. We talk about eating food, famous people eating food.
Yeah, what they were into, what their favourite foods are, just think about food.
It's really better than it sounds.
It sounds ace. What's your problem? Why are you so down on it? It's a top idea.
Alright, yeah. It's as good as it sounds. Famous Food Times. Famous people eating food. You've told me who we're doing. I've not looked at the stories, but I know who we're doing. And I have prepared a little song for us to lead into the story, if you don't mind me playing that.
It's fine. I don't like them. I fucking hate them.
You don't like my songs?
As much as you hate Famous Food Times, I hate your fucking jingles.
Don't like any of your reviews. Don't like your bloody DJ sets.
No, you don't. It's not for you.
You know, rubbish.
You're rubbish.
You're rubbish, yeah.
You're fucking... Anyway. Right, so we're doing Lemmy.
Yeah.
Doing Lemmy's food habits.
Yeah, I remember Lemmy from last one.
Oh, yeah.
When we did his sex story. Go back into the archive and check out Lemmy and... Who was the other one we did?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis, yeah.
Episode 7, that one. Let's get on with the story.
Okay.
Right. First, what do you think of his food habits, his eating habits? What do you think? What kind of diet do you think Lemmy's got?
Lemmy from Motorhead and Hot Wind.
So yeah, gruff Wolverhampton warty man.
You're obsessed with that water, Viz.
It honestly knocks me fucking sick. I really hate it.
Stop body shaming him. Is that right?
Big dirty witch's wart on his fucking cheek, man. It's easily done. Just get a bit of string and just pop it off. Yeah. What do you think Lemmy likes eating? What do you think he grew up eating as well?
Chips. He grew up in the 60s in Wolverhampton, 50s in Wolverhampton. I think they would have had chips a lot then. Or they would have done more home cooking, really. A little bit like boiled potatoes and a slice of beef. That kind of thing.
To be fair, he doesn't really talk much about what he ate growing up.
All right.
It's mostly about when he was on tour.
Oh yeah,
when he was
tour.
on tour. And when Motorhead were first taken off and Hawkwind were taken off, he talks about what he ate a lot then.
See, I don't know what you'd get if you went in a shop in the 70s. If you just walked into a shop in Wolverhampton, what your options would be. You're not going to have pre-packed sandwiches, are you? You're not going to have... what are you going to have? A packet of crisps or something?
Do you want to write lines here?
Yeah, I think you crisps and chocolate.
But what else do you get in like your shitty little corner shops?
Pork scratchings.
Not all bags.
I don't know, Ian.
Come on, you're nearly there.
It's not a quiz show, fuck's sake.
Yeah, go for it. This is from White Line Fever by Lemmy, and it came out in 2002.
I think we lived mainly on ambrosia cream rice. He used to have a beer can puncher and you sort of suck it out of the can. It was a great delicacy at the time, much better cold. I believe that is when I acquired my taste for cold food, which I have to this day. I can eat cold steak, cold spaghetti, even cold French fries, and that takes some doing. But if you've got enough salt on them, they're alright.
Sucking fucking cream rice out of a can. Sucking it out. Why can't people use spoons?
But yeah, you're right. So you go into a shop, you'd just see tins, wouldn't you?
Tins, yeah. I was thinking that. I was like, you can't have a tin. You can't just go on tour and just get a tin. Because they didn't have the ring pulls back then as well.
Oh, beer can puncher. Just sucking it out of the can.
Oh yeah, because they can't get the full lid off. So just a tiny slot in the top. Just suck it out. Probably didn't even get half the rice out, just the cream that it was in. Yeah. Just sucking cream out of the can. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so he's bragging about what he can eat. He can eat cold steak.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What's cold? Is that steak that's been cooked and just left to go cold?
Must be.
In which case, why? Why is he not just eating it when it's hot? Why is he leaving it to go cold?
Because he can cook it like when he's not hungry after he's... or cut loads of it, have some of it when it's cold, and then just take some to the gig and...
It's just in his pocket.
just have a pocket just chewing it like midway through the gig.
Cold spaghetti, so that's like his cream rice and he's just sucking out of a can.
From a can?
Yeah, he's not on about dried, crunchy
Crunchy dried spaghetti.
Cold French fries.
Even cold French fries.
So even he knows that's minging.
Yeah.
He's admitting it takes some doing. But with enough salt on them, they're all right.
They're not all right.
Never all right.
Yeah. And they go really floppy as well, chips, when they're like thin chips.
And do you think these are, again, cooked French fries that he's just left to go cold, or is it even before they've been cooked? Because
It's not going to be raw potato, is it?
Who fucking knows?
Who knows?
Right, should we do the next one?
Yeah.
This is just about he's living in a shared house with his bandmates.
It wasn't that bad, the flat, except there were about 20 of us dossers living in its 4 or 5 rooms. And there was no hot water, no grub and no money either. We were getting a band together, me and Murph and Roger, this drummer. He had no drums, but he played on cushions. I ran out of patience after a short while, so I went up north. I woke up one morning sitting on the beach in South Shields eating cold baked beans out of a can with my comb. I thought, there's got to be more to life than this, so I went back home and then got fed for a bit.
Have you noticed with these, the guys we've done so far, there's like an arms race to see who can be the most grotty, who ate the most shittest food.
Use cutlery? What's wrong with them? Just get a spoon. Were they in short supply or something back in the day?
I suppose there wouldn't have been that many disposable.
You couldn't get plastic spoons.
No. So you would have to pay a few pence for a spoon.
Yeah, and you'd have to get a set.
So maybe
You just go in a restaurant and you just have one from your set at home and just make sure you always have it.
Carry around with
Keep
you.
eating with a comb and fucking just horrible shit, drinking out of vases and...
All right, so Lemmy's on tour now. He's taking a lot of drugs.
Classic rock and roll mode.
Yeah.
Everybody was taking pills too, uppers like blues, black beauties and Dexedrine. It was all pills. I never took powder for years and years. Really, if you're in a band or especially if you're a roadie, you need to take them things because otherwise you can't keep up with the pace. You can't go on a 3-month tour without being on something. I don't give a fuck what they say. Keep fit, eat your greens, drink juice. Fuck off. It's not true. I don't care if you eat 200 artichokes, you still won't last through a 3-month tour doing a gig a day. Everyone did downers as well. We were doing mandrax, the same as quaaludes in the States. Once we bought a canister of 1,000 mandrax. But when we opened it, they'd all melted. They must have got wet. There was just this mushy mess of mandrax at the bottom of the thing, so we laid it all out on the breadboard. We rolled it down with the rolling pin, and we put it under the grill, and we wound up with this white sheet of mandrax, and we'd snap off a corner and eat it. Sometimes you just get a mouthful of chalk, that's the binding, and sometimes you get 3 mandrax, sort of an opiate Russian roulette.
Where'd you get a canister with like 1,000
I've never
downers in it?
Yeah, what the fuck's mandrax? It's a shittiest name
It's
drug.
like something out of the Dark Crystal or something.
So that's what he was eating on tour. Just imagine the roughness of that, just snapping a chunk off like it's a chocolate bar, just eating that.
Under the grill, that's very inventive, isn't it? You'd give up on that. I mean, it's 1,000 pills, you'd probably paid a whack for it, but like that takes some creative thinking to think, right, I can can form these into a big solid mass again, and we can just play Russian roulette with it.
But he put so much effort into fixing this problem of the mushed up drugs. You don't give a shit about opening a can. Boom, one hole, then sucks. Whereas with this, he's grilling it, he's mashing it out really flat on a breadboard.
Yeah, he's got a breadboard but no spoon.
Yeah, a rolling pin. He's got everything apart from one spoon.
Or a can opener.
So yeah, and he claims you can't go on tour without drugs. He's not having it.
No one's ever done that, have they?
No, it's not possible. Completely implausible. Don't care if you eat 200 artichokes.
That's one way of trying to cope with it.
He's such a small-minded, bigoted old man, innit? Eat your greens, drink juice, fuck off. It's not even none of it.
Orange juice, that's for fucking fannies. Keep fit. Fuck off. Keep fit. Get out of here. Not doing that. Just take loads of downers. So you maintain your equilibrium. You're feeling tired. Have some speed.
Okay, so this next story is when record companies start wooing Motorhead and Lemmy with food and other treats.
The first thing the record company did when I arrived was to give me a brunch at their offices. Brunch? I mean, what the fuck is brunch? Can't they spell lunch? Do they have a problem with the letter L? And do you know what this big deal welcome aboard brunch consisted of? Take out Chinese food in 4 pans. You want some more sweet and sour pork, Lemmy? Great to have you over here, man. Motorhead has always been one of my favourite bands. Ha! None of them ever heard a fucking thing we did, except for the week before when they had to cram. It's so shit and so obvious, yet they thought I couldn't see them for what they were.
Such an awful
They're fucking paying your wages. Like, who gives a fuck if they like your band and they know... You're giving you Chinese food for fuck all. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, why is he up in arms about Chinese food? It sounds pretty nice. Sweet and sour pork. What's wrong with that?
Everyone likes sweet and sour pork.
But and do you know what this big deal welcome aboard brunch? Because like they never give you sweet and sour pork, Lemmy.
Dirty bastards.
How fucking dare they?
What did he want? He's talking about a half decent meal that's just there for a business. Like he's getting it for free.
They thought I couldn't see them for what they really were. It's like they were really fucking him over, not signing him to a nice deal, giving him money, making him famous.
And he wanted scumbag like metalheads. Here, have a can of fucking cream that you can suck out of a tin through a tiny hole. Now that's more fucking like it. Do you know what the record label thought I wanted? Trays of pork? I'm a Chinese person. Something rubbish like that.
Alright, so this next story, they're in the studio, they're recording Bastards, which features...
Born to raise hell. Born to raise hell. I was born to raise hell.
And that was recorded with Howard Benson, the producer Howard Benson.
Born to raise hell. Born to raise hell. There was one day I'd been waiting around to do some vocals for endless hours while he was going over some guitar part or something. So, I finally got an hamburger and I was just starting to eat it when he said, "Right, vocals." "Oh, you cunt," I said. "Why don't you let me eat me fucking hamburger?" But no, come on, we're on a deadline. I was being a bitch in the studio, you know. So I did the logical thing. I shoved the burger's contents into the mixing board. I figured it was fair. Howard's eating habits, incidentally, leave quite a bit to be desired. He eats all these terrible vegetarian things, fruits and nuts, all that shit. It's not healthy. Human beings are carnivorous. Just look at our teeth. Our digestive systems are not made to handle vegetarian food. It makes you fart all the time and you get intestinal flora. Vegetarianism is unrealistic. That's why cows have 4 stomachs and we've got 1. Think about it and don't forget Hitler was a vegetarian.
Fucking good point, well made, Lemmy.
Oh, God. So it's like your twatty uncle
Just
hates
like-
everything.
Just the worst kind of excuse for not being a vegetarian. Makes you fart.
And it's all lies. What's he saying? Our digestive systems are not made to handle vegetarian food.
Yeah, of course they
Of course
are.
they fucking are. And get this, and you get an intestinal flora. Oh, what the fuck's that? All it is microorganisms in your stomach that work for you, that do good stuff to you.
Yeah.
And he's making out it's bad.
You need bacteria in your stomach to digest cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anything. But he thinks, oh, that sounds horrible, that flora. Big flowers growing up in your belly. Cows have 4 stomachs and we have 1.
Yeah, cows don't have 4 stomachs so they can process vegetables. They have it so they can produce milk.
He's saying, look at our teeth. Oh, fucking, if we were purely meant to eat meat,
Yeah,
the
we've
teeth
got,
would be
we've got
fangs all around.
two fangs.
Yeah.
Two slightly sharp.
That's it. So what's that? 90% of your teeth are normal, kind of flat, ready for chewing vegetables. Oh, yeah. So he's a little bit pissed off at having to do his job, so he shoves a burger in the mixing desk, destroying it.
Because he was on a deadline and he should have been doing his job. I don't want to do my job, I want to eat my burger. Come on, Lemmy.
No!
Thanks, now you've destroyed the fucking console.
He's telling that like an example of his rock and roll mentality, and it's just a childish, petty thing he's doing.
There's a bit of a fine line between being a bratty toddler and being a rock star, in the like, chucking TVs out of like hotel windows and stuff like that. If you think like how fucking daft that is, because he probably weren't just going, should we do this, yeah, they were probably going, no, I don't want to go on stage yet, I want to do this instead. Chuck the telly out the window.
And there's more to come. This next story again, he's on tour. I think he's in America this time.
Since we were all still big rock stars, we were pulling all sorts of Spinal Tap shit. Incidentally, Spinal Tap was a very accurate film. Whoever wrote it must have spent some time on the road with rock bands. We were bad boys in those days, but then we still are today, only everyone's used to it now. People get horrified by Motorhead. The fucking cheese isn't here. Where's the cheese? Sorry, man, we couldn't get it. Oh, yeah, can't get any fucking cheese in a big town on a Wednesday at fucking 6 o'clock. Get out and get your fucking cheese.
You're saying that's what he did?
He just starts rambling on about ranting out of nowhere.
Because it's not the cheese that matters, is it? It's the principle that they didn't bother. That's what pisses me off. I just send the promoter to them and the minions on all kinds of errands. Get out there and get me this shit. It's on the radio, you better damn well be there. If the drum roadie wants triglets and ours did, he got them. Our present guitarist, Phil Campbell, sent out for Chinese food at one show and told the guys to get a portion of Benoit bars too. And the guy came back with them. But here's one thing that has always puzzled me. And it happened in every country in the world. You rather says you get so many towels right, and they give you these tiny foot square pieces of cloth. What the fuck is that?
All these petty grievances he's got.
Oh, he's just like a grumpy little fucking knobhead, isn't he? He's just being grumpy for the sake of it.
Going on about napkins, towels.
Yeah.
Ranting about that in his book. Imagine being some fucking big Motorhead fan reading that. Oh, the bastards. Oh,
I can't believe he didn't get them proper towels. They were too small towels.
And where was his cheese? He wanted cheese.
He wanted that cheese and he asked for it and it never came. It's not on.
This doesn't make me think, oh man, Lemmy was a proper hellraiser. It's like a nasty,
Spoiled
petty
brat,
little man, yeah.
Yeah, he's a diva, isn't he?
Yeah, he's worse than Mariah Carey. His Mariah Carey level is a diva, isn't this?
Has he not got anything like serious to fucking worry about at all? Like to have to just worry about stupid little shit like that. Or just enjoy it maybe. Either just enjoy being on the road and having, you know, all the fucking fame and fortune and stuff.
Well, instead of picking on minimum wage dudes.
Just trying to make him happy. Dickhead.
Right, so this last story, another on-tour story.
Once when we got to the show really late, we walked into the dressing room and we found a bowl of cold water with that one fucking beer in it. 3 yogurts and a few biscuits and fruits and nuts, bare food. So I said to the promoter, "Hey, come here a minute." And I hit him with 3 yogurts before he got out of the door. A bit later on, the door opened a crack and a bottle of vodka was rolled across the floor to us. Finally, in Trondheim, we got totally fed up with him and we covered him with squirty cheese. Our roadies came up behind him and grabbed him. We handcuffed him, dragged him out on the stage and we pulled his trousers down. And then we squirted him with squeezy cheese and mayonnaise and anything else they could get their hands on.
Yeah. Ultimate prankster, innit? But I bet he couldn't fucking handle anyone doing anything to him. Fucking, if you went up behind him and just squirted a bit of cheese on his head, he'd be like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? I'm fucking Lemmy from fucking Motorhead and rock and roll band, and you squirted cheese on my head. This is outrageous. I'm going to get everyone fucking fired."
He totally would do that. And it's just fucking bullying low-paid staff, innit?
Yeah, he's a big bully. He's a big stroppy kid bullying all his fucking minions. And he calls them minions as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does actually, yeah.
Yeah. Because he has no fucking respect for anyone apart from himself, and he thinks he's a big fucking I am.
What is it? We were bad boys in those days, but we still are today, only everyone's used to it now. He thinks all this shitty behaviour, treating people horribly, is bad boys. Getting someone on stage and pulling his pants down, having to see his knob. That's just being a prick. It's being an utter cunt.
But it probably is like the reason, you get your Motley Crues and everyone wants these wild rock and roll stories. So they just do twatty things and it sounds good when you don't actually put yourself in the position of the people that they're bullying.
Yeah. It's a wild story, but in reality, it's snide. But I don't even think Lemmy's stories. I don't even think Lemmy's stories are that fucking wild. He threw yogurts at a guy. Shit like that, man. Telling some guy to get a Chinese sex toy.
Telling someone to get some cheese for him.
Yeah.
Shouting at him about it.
These aren't like raucous rock and roll shit.
Yeah, he's not fucking burning down churches and
having a tantrum because he don't think record company guys know his band that well. They don't make me think, whoa, fuck me, he's working off his head. It is like, well, he says, doesn't it? It's like Spinal Tap. Childishness of that.
But he saw himself in it.
But he's not embarrassed by it.
No, not at all, no.
He thinks it's ace. Got one final story. Don't just read this last one.
Yeah.
He talks about his early days doing acid and stuff.
There were also legendary shows where we spiked the food and drink with acid. Actually, we only did that a couple of times. One was at the Roundhouse, I recall. And since most of our fans showed up at gigs already stoned, it didn't make much of a difference anyway. There was an innocence about those days because we didn't know yet that some people would go nuts on acid or that others would start putting needles in themselves and dying from an embolism.
That's a nice fun story to end on. Just spiking people. I didn't realise he was going to die. It's not my fault. I didn't know.
He acts like it's fuck all that, doesn't he? Spike the food and drink with acid. So like that's not a big deal. That's fucking massive.
Yeah.
That would have messed up a lot of people. We were saying it didn't make much of a difference anyway.
Because he was all stoned.
Being stoned,
yeah,
very
I've got stoned.
Well, being stoned is very different to being on acid and being spiked with acid.
Yeah, you need to like really fucking prepare yourself to go on an acid trip, don't you?
Yeah.
You can't just like have it come on while you're in a room full of strangers, not knowing what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
While you're fucking wrecked and paranoid from weed, that's not going to help.
So Lemmy, who's pissed off about getting yogurts on a rider, thinks spiking people with acid is nothing. It's no big deal. But someone gives him yogurts instead of cold steak and rice pudding.
Very dare you.
Despicable.
And he is saying that some people died from putting needles in them, and that's like a kind of direct response to them being dosed by him.
But he didn't know, so what are you going to do? He didn't know that'd happen.
I know. I didn't know it had happened, so I'm not responsible. Case closed, Your Honour.
Would you want to go for a meal with Lemmy?
Nah.
Just be whinging constantly.
Yeah, no matter what it were. If it were posh food and really nice, go, oh, fucking posh, this is shit.
Sweeping it off the table.
Just making like girls like clean up after him while he just kicked all his food around the restaurant. Or if it was really shit food in a cafe, and he just fucking shit and he'd let it slop there. Rubbish.
He would 100% talk to the server like shit as well.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have any respect for anyone. What would you cook for him?
I'd give him a kind of cream rice with a hole in the top.
Suck on that.
What would you cook for him?
What would I cook for him?
If you were trying to make him proper happy.
Pig's head, roasted in an oven. He'd like the fucking fact that there's a skull in it, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He'd think, oh, very good, very good. So he'd be into that. Pig's head, apple in its mouth. He wouldn't eat the apple.
Fucking bear food, man.
Yeah, what did he say? It's bear food.
Yeah,
Fruit and nuts.
Fruit and nuts. You put an apple in his mouth. There's fucking bears eat fruit. I'm not going to eat the same thing a bear does. That's bollocks.
Chips, cold chips on the side.
Big pig's head and a plate of cold chips.
And he'd fucking love it and all that one. He'd think that was wicked.
Yeah. Tearing the ears off a pig's head. But he'd still find a way to like try and belittle you over it. You were being too mean about Lemmy.
I started to hate him the more these
I think
days.
we were quite nice about him before, but
We saw him like a sad old man. He went about talking about sex. A bit pathetic. But no, he's just horrible cunt to everyone.
bully, yeah.
Thanks for listening to the third and final episode of this spin-off series. Say it.
Famous times.
Say it again.
I did.
Say it again.
Famous food times.
Famous food times.
Famous food time. Nom 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 nom.
I think it's going to be a surefire hit. This one.
It's just as good as talking about shagging, isn't it?
I think it tells you more about them.
Yeah, you
Because they're
do.
less guarded. People are less guarded talking about food. It reveals more.
Yeah, they're not shy about the food habits because it's not taboo. So they'll just let rip, won't they?
So if you want more food episodes,
No more food episodes.
if you want more of the food stuff, just email in.
All right.
Right. You can follow us at Famous First Times on Instagram. Give over on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
If you do want to tell us about any stories about famous people eating food that you think is really good that we can feature on another episode of Ian Mates We Do One, then get in touch on our Ian's burner phone, which the number is
07896 493 664, or you can email us at fft@giveover.co.uk.
and we will be back in a couple of weeks with the new series of famous first times.
Shagging stuff.
Proper stuff. New people as well. We've done all these people before, haven't we?
Got over a dozen new famous names for you.
Coming up soon. Thank you.
If you like to gamble, I'll tell you I'm your man. You win some, you lose some. It's all the bloody same to me anywhere. Not bothered. The pleasure is to play. It makes no difference what you say. So shut up. I don't share your greed. The only card that I need is the ace of spades. It's the ace of spades. It's the ace of spades. Playing for the high one and dancing with the devil. Going with the flow is all a bloody game to me. Seven or 11. Snake eyes is what you do. You know
you're going to lose. And gambling's for fools. But that's the way I like it, 'cause I don't want to live forever. And don't forget the Joker. The Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.